The mountains are the eldest daughter. In this Bushman story we are told about the origin of mountains. The narrator calls the eldest sister Ko, which means mountain in the Bushman language. Ko, the eldest daughter, and her husband, who was the son of the Hottentots god, made themselves huts from bushes and lived in them. Sige, her mother, never took the string of tortoise shells off her neck, so there would be many tortoises, and Sige could catch as many to eat as she wanted. Sige then became so crazy about tortoise meat that she had no desire for other food at all. She only wanted to eat tortoise meat and nothing else. But a tortoise is a small animal that walks slowly and is lazy, so Ko also became slow and lazy. If she goes to get tortoises nearby in the bushveld for herself, it takes her almost the whole day to walk the short distance there and back. Sige then does nothing more for her husband and child. The man first argued with her about it and then beat her. But he could just as well have made noise with the tortoise, or the pebbles that were in the tortoise shells. From now on, the man had to do everything by himself. Yes, he even had to go and catch tortoises for her. He always went hunting and fetching wild food, from which he and the child lived, for the two of them did not want to eat only tortoise meat, for fear that they too would become as lazy as Ko. One day the man went away into the bushveld to go hunting. Then a baboon came and asked the child where his mother was, because he wanted the thong with which the tortoise shells were strung around her neck. The child did not want to say where his mother was, so the baboon told the child that he wanted that thong, because it was made from the skin of his brother, and said that he would come again the next day and then he would take the thong off. Ko came to take it from her neck by using force. When the man came home, the child told him how rude the baboon was, and begged his father not to go to the bushveld the next day, but to be happy at home. The next day the baboon came just as he had said, and he repeated his demand. Yet the man grabs his bow and arrow and threatens to shoot the baboon if he doesn't leave immediately. The baboon, who was also one of the old generation's people, says that he will leave, but warns Ko that the next day he would come with the commander of his brothers to fetch the necklace, and then they will immediately destroy the cabins and break them to pieces. Then he walked away grumbling. The man then quickly went to the bushveld to bring food into the house, and he prepared himself for the attack on the following day. Just as he said, the baboon came the next day with a large company of his family. The Hottentots god, the father of the man, calmly watches the turmoil. He turns the man, who is his son, into a great bird, and the child he turns into the great resound, or echo. The bird flew up and made a great wind with its wings, so that a thick dust came and with thunder made a great noise. As the bird whirled around, a terrible whirlwind arose, throwing stones and pieces of wood around. Here, a baboon receives a blow on the head with a stone. There, another blow with a piece of wood, and the sand and dust swirled so terribly in the eyes of the baboons that they were obliged to separate, scatter, and run away. In their flight, far from there, they exclaimed, "Wait! We will never leave Ko alone. On her grave we will walk around, and we will constantly disturb and roll over its stones." But in any case they marched on, scolding. But Ko became lazier and lazier by day. She then fell asleep, and she sleeps to this day. She turned into a huge mountain in her sleep, never to wake up again. When all the baboons saw how Ko turned into mountains, they were only happy, and out of revenge they went to drink there on the mountains, for they swore that they would not leave her grave alone and predicted to her that they would constantly disturb and overturn and roll the stones of her grave. And they still do to this very day. And will do so until as long as there is still a baboon to be found to roll over stones. Ko, the mountains, are not dead, but rest in an eternal sleep.